A British and Irish Lion with his best years still ahead of him, Ross Moriarty would be close to irreplaceable if he leaves Gloucester at the end of the season. The back rower made his eagerly awaited return to cherry and white colours in the Anglo-Welsh Cup game against Leicester on Saturday after a 5-month injury layoff, and Gloucester fans will be hoping he can now stay fit to play a big part for the club until the end of this season at least. Gloucester owner Martin St Quintin and head coach Johan Ackermann have both stated the club will do all they can to find a solution that will enable Moriarty to stay beyond that, but the likelihood is they will be fighting a losing battle. The 23-year-old wants to play for Wales, and with the WRU unlikely to budge on their new selection policy that has thrown a real spanner into the works, he will almost certainly have to move over the Severn Bridge once his contract expires if he is to continue his international career and have a chance of playing at the 2019 Rugby World Cup. Losing a player of that calibre is always going to be a huge blow, but on his comeback game there is a ray of hope for Gloucester's possible future without Moriarty, and that was the performance of the young man on the other side of the back row. Leicester, England, November 4. Ross Moriarty of Gloucester Rugby during the Anglo-Welsh Cup match at Welford Road on November 4, 2017 in Leicester, England. Photo by Tony Marshall. Getty Images. Jake Polledri was one of Gloucester's standout players in the 2,624 defeat at Welford Road, as he gave another glimpse of his enormous potential and frightening power. It would place too much pressure on Polledri to suggest he alone could fill the huge void that would be left by Moriarty's potential departure, but the emergence of this seriously talented player might at least soften the blow. There are clear comparisons between the players. Both have similar backgrounds, with fathers who enjoyed illustrious careers playing at the top level themselves, and Polledri, who turns 22 on Wednesday, followed in Moriarty's footsteps in coming through the talent factory at Hartpury College. Although Polledri played at openside against Leicester, he was used mostly at blindside at Hartpury, and that is where he is most likely to end up at Gloucester. Like Moriarty, he is a ferocious tackler while he has the potential to be an even bigger ball carrier. Having worked with Ross Moriarty, Gareth Evans, Elliot Stewart and Lewis Ludlow, HES as good as they were when they were at Hartpury, if not better in some areas. He is without one of the best, if not the best, ball carrier I've ever worked with, and that includes a lot of players who have gone on to play for Gloucester and international. Those were the words of Hartpury head coach and former Gloucester lock Mark Cornwall when speaking about Polledri earlier this year. Jake Polledri. Any fans who saw the YouTube clips of Polledri battering his way through National 1 defences would have been excited by his arrival in the summer, but there might have been a question mark over whether he could do it at a higher level against much bigger opponents built for the rigours of Premiership rugby. So far Polledri has featured for Gloucester in the European Challenge Cup and Anglo-Welsh Cup, and even though these fixtures have featured much changed sides to those used in domestic league competitions, it is no doubt a big step up from where he was playing last season, and he has shown he is up to the challenge. He's only made a brief Premiership appearance, and competing in that higher pressure environment on a regular basis is a test that lies ahead, but given how at ease he has looked in a Gloucester shirt so far, it is one you would back him to pass with flying colours. Gloucester are lucky to have vast riches in the back row, and even without Moriarty this season, they have been able to call upon two other young back rowers with big futures in Johan Ackermann and Lewis Ludlow, as well as the likes of Jacob Rowan, Ben Morgan and Freddie Clark. Polledri is making his case hard to ignore now too, and if he continues to build on the promise he has shown so far, then perhaps a future without Moriarty does not have to feel like doom and gloom for Gloucester fans.